Hey, thanks, Gregor. Uh, good morning, Dylan. Good afternoon, where you are.
How you doing?
Antsy day for you at all? Trade deadline day, or or just another day?
A lot better than last year's for me personally. Yeah, I think obviously it's there's a lot to talk and with every team in the league, I'm sure, and I think we're just focused on our game tonight, and it's a big game for us. We got to keep this thing going, so I think we're focused on that and let management do their thing.
We'll go next to Mike McIntyre from the Winnipeg Free Press. Go ahead, Mike.
Afternoon, Dylan. Yeah, I realize it's a little speculative because we don't know how the afternoon's going to play out here, but there's been a lot of talk about maybe adding some depth to the blue line. Obviously, with Nate Bolio being lost for the season, you lost a piece there. I guess what's the mood if you were to add a piece or two? Would it be welcomed by the group? You guys obviously want to be playing hockey for a long time.
Absolutely. I think anytime management goes out and gets a player that they feel that can help the team going forward, I think it's just a boost for everybody. And that's just, a testament of how hard we've worked and the position we've put ourselves into. So I think we all know that our forward group's pretty strong. And, I know people say our defensive depth isn't as good, but I would say that's probably more because of how strong our goaltending is and how strong our forward group is. I think our defense has done a really good job this year, kind of by committee, and have done a really good job of stepping up and playing really well. And, if it's a defenseman we acquire or wherever it may be, we'll be welcome with open arms in our organization for sure.
We'll go next to Kelly Moore from CJOB. Go ahead, Kelly.
Thank you, Gregor, and good afternoon, Dylan. I would like to have $1 for every time I have heard or read that the Winnipeg Jets are not physical enough on the blue line and don't move the puck well enough. You're there. Is there some validity to that, Dylan, or would you say that's those are theories that are full of holes?
Well, I may be biased, but I would say it's got some holes in it. I think you just look at our forward group, you see how dynamic they are and the plays they make, and maybe you don't see the guys that get them the puck, and maybe you don't see or appreciate that type of effort. I mean, you look at some of our guys on our back end, we have some size for sure, and we got guys that play with a lot of heart. I mean, maybe some of the smaller guys like myself, maybe JMO and P, but I think we play pretty hard, and P's one of our leading hitters, so, and he plays against top lines every night, so maybe they got to watch a little bit more of our games and see maybe there's not the holes that they think there is.
Next to Mitchell Clinton from Jets TV. Go ahead, Mitch.
Hi, Dylan. Just curious. I mean, Connor Brown's got goals in 7 straight games. When a player's on a streak like that, is that something that you guys pay attention to? And what's it like to defend against a guy like Connor Brown?
Yeah, I think we pay attention to that. Obviously, he's having a really good stretch, having a good year. Great acquisition for them when they got him. I remember when he came last year. Very tenacious player. He's always on the puck, always on the forecheck. Can kind of play anywhere in your lineup and do a good job in any role. So, we definitely have to be aware when he's on the ice, but we have to, continue to play our game. They obviously have a lot of good players and kind of good depth spread out throughout their lineup. So, you look at their lineup, I don't think, maybe outside of the Tkachuk line, which is maybe their first line, every line is pretty balanced.
And final question to Murat Atash from The Athletic. Go ahead, Murat.
Thanks, Gregory. Hey, Dylan, I know you probably ideally like to answer another question about the game in front of you, but as somebody who has been traded to the Winnipeg Jets and has gone through that transition, now you've got about a year out to look back on it. What was it like? What stands out? Who reaches out? What's it like to be traded to the Jets?
Well, the whole experience is just kind of crazy to begin with, just because you're just kind of, I don't know, in my situation, being a UFA, you're just kind of waiting for that shoe to fall and you're just wondering, kind of which team you're going to, because I kind of figured I was getting traded. So, just being anxious and just waiting to see what team it was. And then when I was found out it was Winnipeg, obviously Chevy reached out and then coach reached out first and, kind of welcomed me to the team and said, really happy to have you. And then started getting some texts from some of the guys. And so that was really cool. It just made me feel really welcomed without even meeting anybody. And I knew it was a really good fit on paper, and I looked at the team and I thought, oh, this is going to be a good fit and a real strong team. So, crazy. It's been a year now, and couldn't be happier to be traded to the Jets at the time, and happy to resign